the car on the side of the road, taking the 4-year-old sister, but leaving the 2-year-old baby boy asleep, still strapped in a car seat behind. Cops say no forced entry on the car, and the car starts right up. No engine problems. Bombshell tonight. In the last hours, Daddy reveals he absolutely does not believe Mommy's story and submits to a second polygraph. As cops set up a checkpoint Charlie, stopping traffic and pedestrians for miles, police also go door to door in Mommy's apartment complex, begging for tips. As police determine a ransom note was just a hoax, the FBI takes the search international. Tonight, where is 2-year-old baby Sky?
Reports police considering turning the case of missing 2-year-old Sky into a criminal investigation.
I understand not long ago you and your wife left the baby in the car while you went into Target.
That's the worst mistake I've ever made in my life.
Can't imagine how his ex could have done it again.
What were you thinking?
That would have been more believable than when she gives us her story where the car's gotten out of gas.
My stomach is telling me this is not good for baby Sky.
Nothing prepared him for the news that Sky has disappeared.
Cops say it's a, quote, strategic decision not to charge her for allegedly abandoning the baby.
The second polygraph that he has taken.
She was my wife. She had a routine.
She could not handle the dirt.
6 to 7 hours. She would clean the whole house. She kept on saying that she wanted to kill herself.
Do we know more today than we did yesterday about what happened to him? And I would say no, we don't.
Sky's mom still refuses to meet with police.
Keeping hope alive through faith that his son is indeed alive.
I want to kiss him. I believe that my son is coming back home. That's what I believe. I would tell Julia, please, if you know anything about Sky's disappearance, please come and tell the authorities so they can find him and so they can find him.
Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. I want to thank you for being with us. Bombshell tonight. In the last hours, Daddy reveals he absolutely does not believe Mommy's story as Daddy voluntarily takes a second polygraph. Cops setting up a checkpoint Charlie, stopping traffic and pedestrians for miles as they also go door to door in Mommy's apartment complex begging people for tips. Police determine a ransom note was just a hoax as the FBI takes the search international. Tonight, where is 2-year-old baby Sky?
When you hear this story that Mom has told, you have to scratch your head and wonder why.
A new report says police will discuss switching the focus of the case from a missing person search to a criminal investigation.
Why was you leaving in the car?
The mother's story is falling apart day to day.
The mother is the last to have seen the child.
She ran out of gas and walked more than a mile to this Bellevue gas station.
Why would you leave a 2-year-old in the car? It certainly looks suspicious.
How did she clean the bathroom?
Every inch, every corner, Windex the mirror before and after she would use the bathroom.
They set up a checkpoint near where Sky disappeared.
There's still many questions about the car and her actions.
That looks suspicious, and we're puzzled by that. I want to make a public invitation to Julia via her attorney and let her know that we are open and willing to interview her and take information from her whenever she's ready to do that. At this point, the issue of forcing her into...
Welcome back. We are live and taking your calls. The mystery intensifies around the search for 2-year-old baby Sky. Mommy insists she was taking the baby to the hospital, but when she runs out of gas, she drops the car off on the side of the road, leaving baby Sky strapped in a car seat asleep, but takes her 4-year-old little girl with her. Comes back an hour and a half later and says baby Sky is gone. Liz, let's cue up that episode of SVU, Mommy's favorite Law and Order show that aired the night before, coincidentally, the very same plot line. And then the next morning, Baby Sky goes missing. A lot of developments in the last 24 hours. Police canvassing mommy's apartment complex, going door to door, begging people for help. This is they set up a checkpoint Charlie, stopping pedestrians and traffic for miles, trying to get tips. We're taking your calls live straight out to David Lohr, senior crime reporter, Huffington Post. David, what are you hearing?
Well, Nancy, we know on Saturday there was 140 members of law enforcement and some community volunteers conducted a search around the apartment complex. They also used the aerial search, and they had some officers on horseback. Then Sunday, the following day, they had actually set up a checkpoint where along the route the mother would have taken. They were hoping that someone who regularly drives that route might have seen something on the day that she left the child inside the car.
You know what, David Lohr, that was smart, because they set up a checkpoint Charlie, like a roadblock, everybody, at the time and the day where previous the baby goes missing. So hopefully the same people will be going to church or on their errands or to their... Is Solomon Metalwala. This is Baby Sky's biological father. He is looking for his son. He calls him his little dude. And if you see them, Liz, let me see that shot of Solomon with his son. They look exactly alike. When this whole case started, I said, okay, give me a DNA. Make sure this is the baby's biological father. You know what? I don't need a test. My own eyes tell me this is his baby. Also with him, Clay Terry out of Seattle, high-profile lawyer in that jurisdiction. Take a look at this. I don't need a DNA test to tell me who's the daddy here. Okay, Solomon Metalwala is with us right now, joining us out of Seattle. He's been leading the search for his son. Solomon, you voluntarily agreed to take a second polygraph after your first one was inconclusive. Did you take a poly?
Yes.
Well, good for you. Did you go to police headquarters to do it?
No, we went to the FBI headquarters. What'd you say?
Yeah. FBI
oh, I see.
So,
Clay, you guys went to the FBI?
Yes, we went down to the FBI headquarters in Seattle at their request. It was not taken by the Bellevue Police Department.
Good to know. Solomon, did they ask you generally the same questions they asked you last time?
I believe we don't supposed to discuss that right now.
Yeah.
Okay, what about that, Clay Terry?
Yeah, we've made an agreement not to discuss the polygraph for reasons which we'll disclose later.
Okay, I understand they may have asked you some questions specific to the investigation. I got it. Clay, did they tell you if he passed this time?
No. The agreement was that we would not discuss it at all. And I think you understand why as a former prosecutor.
I do.
So we agreed not to do that. But he's volunteered and so he's always ready to assist law enforcement in any way.
Solomon, where were you at the time Baby Sky went missing? Where exactly were you?
I was at home getting ready to go to church.
Solomon, we've been doing a little bit of investigating, and it's my understanding that there is actually a hospital very close to Mommy's apartment. Number one, why was she taking Sky to the hospital? What was the nature of his illness? And two, why didn't she go to Evergreen Hospital? Excuse me, Swedish Medical Center, only a mile away. What do you know, Solomon?
No, I didn't think about that. Yeah, I don't know why would she go to. Only reason I can think of is maybe because she's been to Overlake before. That's the only thing I can think of.
And what was the nature of his illness, Solomon? Why was he having to go to the hospital?
I don't know. I haven't seen him. Remember?
Clay Terry, what do we know? Because you know, if you're taking a baby to the hospital, it's that sick, you got to go to the hospital, the emergency room. Why would you leave the baby in the car? What was the nature of Baby Sky's illness? Do you know, Clay?
Well, we've heard some rumors that she said that the baby was ill, and she was concerned enough to get up, get the baby dressed at 7:30 in the morning, get the baby in the car along with the daughter, strap them into the car seats, and then take them. And instead of going to Evergreen Hospital, she decided to go over to Overlake. And as Solomon said, it may have been because she was familiar with the hospital, but she even took, we don't know what was wrong, and we can't understand how anyone would leave a sick child in the car and just leave her there for over an hour.
We are taking your calls out to Melinda in Alabama. What's your question, dear?
Yes, I want to know, they were in mediation, and maybe I've missed the answer to this, but where was the children at when they were in mediation for the divorce and child custody?
You mean where were the children physically while they were doing mediation?
Yes, ma'am. Because
okay, what about it, Clay Terry? When they were doing mediation, where were the children?
Thank you, Melinda. That's a good question. We understand that during the mediation, and I was there the entire mediation, over almost 12 hours, the children were home without supervision.
Everybody, we are taking your calls as the search intensifies for baby Sky. It goes international. And did bloodhounds hit on the scent of this little boy? Take a look at baby Sky. Tip line 425-452-25